This is a new asset class. Bitcoin is a new asset class. It's a monetary system to be sure, but it also represents a new asset class. And what that means in our world is that as a fiduciary, someone looking after portfolios for people, a fiduciary has to consider a new asset class because of the low correlation with other assets in terms of returns and risk. And so if you add Bitcoin to an existing portfolio, if that is right, and this is low correlation asset, what that means is over time, returns per unit of risk will go up. So if one platform has Bitcoin and offers that opportunity of diversification and higher risk-adjusted returns, and another doesn't, then they're going to have a problem if this one's right.
Minimis can mean multiple things depending on in what context you're talking about. So I'll talk about the two. So one is de minimis reporting. So we were talking about broker regulations and the amount, some of the comments that we received, we're talking about like, is it really helpful for the IRS to get all of these like tiny transactions where somebody used stablecoin to purchase a cup of coffee, right? And so there is, a lot of comments came in saying like recommending that we look at a de minimis for reporting purposes. So this would help brokers because they wouldn't have to report on every single little tiny transaction, but maybe they would be able to, up to a certain dollar amount address that. Now, I can't tell you which way, kind of which direction we're headed with that, but it was a very good comment, and it's definitely something helpful for us to take into consideration.
Going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
And so we'll import Chinese-based CBDC technology. So it's going to be CBDC in a box provided to you by the People's Bank of China.
But every stock, every bond, every currency, every commodity, every piece of art, every private business, every piece of real estate will eventually be a token on a blockchain, an entry on a ledger, permanent and immutable. We will have truth instead of trust, and we will save over $7 trillion a year. 6 to 8% of global GDP is wasted by the friction of the trust industry that's necessary when you have dual entry accounting. With triple entry accounting, which is what a blockchain is, we get rid of all of that friction. It's a beautiful future.
Like what you see in China and their social credit scoring systems, right? If we get identity wrong, it could be a tool to enslave humanity. And if we get it right, it could be a tool to liberate humanity. And as an American, I'm obviously rooting for the one that's on the side of freedom.
Bitcoin is an international asset. And also, I do believe the role of crypto is, it's digitizing gold.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of a huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we could have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement. And think about it, it changes the whole ecosystem.
Chinese bank ICBC has been hit by a ransomware attack, and the U.S. Treasury market, as a result of that, has been disrupted. This, according to the Financial Times. We're getting it more right now with Bloomberg's Shonali Bassick. Shonali, what do we know?
Listen, we have the Financial Times now reporting that ICBC, one of China's largest banks here, was hit with a ransomware attack. And remember, they're a very significant intermediary in the Treasury market. The SIFMA has told its members that this has been part of the reason here that the system is kind of clogged up, if you will, during that auction that we saw a little bit before. The attack had prevented ICBC, according to the Financial Times, from settling Treasury trades on behalf of other market participants. A large executive at a major bank also telling the paper that such a large party on the fixed income clearing corp creates major concerns, potentially impacting the liquidity of Treasury markets.
Now, it was not just a poor auction. It was absolutely lousy, and you know, when the dealers have to step in to save a Treasury auction, that's a rare occurrence.
I hate when countries go off the dollar. I would not allow countries to go off the dollar, because when we lose that standard, that will be like losing a revolutionary war. That will be a hit to our country, just like losing a war. And we can't let that happen. And too many countries now are fighting to get off the dollar.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe if you do like what you're listening to. Please inform your friends and family and spread it all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works, because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that it is all planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Cryptoteacher and the New World Order book. Remember, the New World Order book shows you how the world really works, and it is definitely time for you to wake up out of that sleep, especially in the times that we're in right now. And 2024 is going to be one of our most entertaining years. We have the presidential election. We have the drums are beating. We have the emerging markets going to be flipping the switch on the fourth industrial revolution. Now, we had the Fed signal rate cuts, but remember, guys, they haven't cut rates yet. So we know the master magicians are about to set up that distraction. So therefore, they can cut rates while we still have inflation. And in the fourth quarter, once the election is over, we know the movie begins. And also, guys, I want to thank those who purchased the 3 Kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, much love to those who donate to the Cash App, Patreon. Much love. Keep it coming. Guys, if you're not a part of the Patreon, make sure you're donating to the channel through the actual Cash App. But guys, this next Bitcoin and crypto bull run is going to be a utility run. So you want to make sure you have the cryptos that have real utility. And much love to those who are shopping at both stores. Keep it coming. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And right now we have Bitcoin and crypto flat. And guys, we know at the beginning of the month we have open interest. It's the same game. We get a little pump and then we pull back. But the fact is, don't forget we have CME that opens tonight. And again, we do the same thing every single month. It's like clockwork, so make sure you're getting yourself in position. Now, guys, do not forget to pay attention to the actual indicators. On Friday, we had yield rates down. We had the dollar down, and volume in crypto right now is down. Then, of course, we have Tether and USDC. And we have Athena synthetic dollar. USDE crosses 3 billion supply just 4 months after launch. And remember, guys, how important these stablecoins are going to be. They'll just be pegged to a CBDC, but it keeps the central banks in power. And then on top of it, they're programmable, telling you what, when, when, and how to buy. And you have 3 to 6 months to spend them, or poof, they're gone. And it keeps the central bank behind the curtain where the masses have no clue who's control of their money. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you. And then, of course, we have the Fed repo at $439 billion on Friday. Make sure you're pulling the repo on a daily basis during the week. And we had the Fed print 80% of all money in existence within 2 years. And then we get all this inflation. But if you go poll society, they would have no clue of what went on in 2020. And now we're 4 years later feeling the pain. They give the sheep a little money, and now they pay back that money tenfold. But of course, guys, remember, this is all for the fourth industrial revolution where the machines rise. Now we have the Fed in the House June 12th. We know what they're going to say, data dependent. All the numbers that we've been getting, of course, inflation is here. It's not going anywhere. And we had the Fed and the Treasury say we wasn't getting any inflation. Then, of course, they're going to rise rates to get rid of all this inflation. And now you have this 2% inflation goal that's hard to hit because you only have a couple corporations that own everything. So the only thing they have to do is lower prices. And, of course, we would have been hit the inflation goal. But you look at rents, you look at food, you look at insurance. They moved up for no reason. So, of course, they can move down for no reason. It's just an illusion of choice. But, of course, once they bring in these machines, we're going to go through hyper deflation. And that's the reason why you keep hearing by bringing in AI, it's going to increase productivity because the machines are not going to call out. They don't need health insurance. They work 24/7, and they're definitely not going to talk back. But guys, remember, this is all biblical. And remember, the crypto teacher told you. Now we have the spot Bitcoin ETFs, BlackRock, Fidelity, and Grayscale all down. But getting over into a little crypto news. We have Coinbase says the SEC is serious about the destruction of digital assets. And guys, we know this is definitely not true. This is all the Hegelian dialectic. It's not like we can't go back and listen to all the Gary Gensler videos when he was at MIT. It's not like he doesn't know the future of this asset class. His job was to kick the regulation can down the road, and guess what? He's doing a perfect job. He's the NWO chess piece, and remember, the crypto teacher told you. And then, of course, we have Kathy Woods. Guys, remember, Kathy Woods is totally invested in the fourth industrial revolution. Everything is about the robots, algorithms, and drones. And that's the reason why she's always constantly speaking about what's going to happen in the future. And that's how you should be investing. I'm not your financial advisor, not financial advice. Please do your own research. But you should have a 5, 10, 15, 20-year investment plan. You clearly see where this fourth industrial revolution is going, especially when you're in this space. And if you're young, you definitely are in perfect position. And then what seals the deal, you have Seth Wilks from the IRS. He's the director of the digital asset piece. So, guys, they're clearly planning out this future, but that definitely should seal the deal for anyone new to the space. And remember, the only power that the sheep still have is a job. And we know in Hebrew, job means persecution. But the fact is, we still hold power over this economy. Once they bring in the robots, algorithms, and drones, all that power is gone. And that means the sheep are going to run to the government. And we know the NWO caused the problem, wait for the reaction, and run in with the solution. And that solution has been ready 20 years ago. The machine takeover and free money. We saw this being tested in 2020, and now they're ready to roll out the real plan. And remember, the crypto teacher told you, because he knows when it comes to the NWO, it's all planned out. But that's all I have for you. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book, plus the 3 kids books. It's time to re-educate. Also, new to cryptos, Coinbase, Bitrue, Binance. Do not forget book links and crypto links are in the description. The stock channel, guys. Don't forget to go like, subscribe, spread everywhere. You have your Kobo, your chip stocks, your banking, your gaming. While everybody's sitting at home, get home stocks, the Seaver, the biotech stocks. And while everybody's at home wishing they were still getting that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and you have a wonderful day. The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, you know I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. You know, I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends, so therefore we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Grandma Tam save New York. From COVID Stories 3. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.